gonna whet your appetite, and it's gonna make you feel alright. Sweet Gravy and Carmen Kirk, check them out as they go to work. Congratulations on your new podcast. Now open up a can of whoop ass and blast, blast, blast. This is Angelo, and I hope you like this show. Wow.
Ooh, welcome back to another episode of Sweet Gravy. Carmen, thank you for having me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what we're here for?
You are now entering a stinky goat cheese of a sandwich.
Turn that off.
You had enough of the...
I've been had enough of it. You keep doing it.
You had enough of the Giannis Papas?
Yeah, I'm over it.
All right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No more
The
Giannis
crazy
Papas?
part is he got a good name. It's an interesting name to be, but it feel like he ain't picking up steam.
Uh-huh.
Like, after Chris dumped him, that's it.
So, Giannis Papas, he was...
He's a comedian.
He's a comedian man, a New York guy.
Yeah.
And he was in a podcast called History Hyenas.
Yeah.
That's how the hyenas would laugh on the show whenever they had said something.
Mm-hmm.
And there was another comedian with him, Chris DiStefano, and then he dropped him. He said he didn't want to do they were just picking up steam. They were about to get like a plaque for their like 100,000 subscribers or something.
Yeah.
And Chris DiStefano said, no, I want to do this other podcast with this other guy.
Yeah.
And he didn't really like talk to him. But then like the guy Giannis got the COVID.
Yeah.
And then like all this like inner workings happened like while he had the vid. So
yeah, I mean, he was talking about it, and I think one of the reasons why Chris DiStefano wanted to go in a different direction, part of it was he didn't like the things Giannis Papas was talking about, and he's like, "You are gonna stop my bag on a higher level. Like I'm trying to not just do podcasting. I'm trying to be in movies. I'm trying to do all these things. I'm trying to be in corporate situations, and the things you saying is gonna screw me over."
Right.
And when he talks about it, he's like, we just had a difference of opinion on how to, like, he kept saying things that Chris like they was editing out a lot of things in the show, and he
constant censorship.
Right. So he was like, I need to do it with somebody who has the same goal in mind that I'm doing it. He pretty much felt like Giannis Papas was not trying to do anything big with the way, like, you just podcasting, you a comedian. He's like, I'm trying to be bigger than that. I'm trying to have my name everywhere, and you gonna stop us from getting there with the, you can't do that.
Right.
So he's like, it's our podcast. We can do. He's like, I get it. It's our podcast, but once you get to a certain level, you have to censor some stuff if you want to make money.
Right.
So, I don't know. It's a weird one. And then every time he did interviews after that, everybody kept asking him the whole time.
But he was pretty quiet about it.
Yeah, well, when he did The Brilliant Idiots, or when he did Flagrant 2, they are friends with him. So they kept asking. They was like, nope. They pulled it out of him. They got as much. They started getting him a little drunk.
Right.
And it was like, what else happened? Like, they started
censored
stuff.
that because even Andrew Schultz, who a comedian man, and he's known for saying whatever he wants, but they even censored some of that stuff out of there. And then we were watching it, and I was like, oh, they're cutting it there. They're cutting it there.
Yeah, but I mean, Andrew Schultz has also gotten better because he started off with Charlemagne on Brilliant Idiots. Charlemagne gave him the platform pretty much. Like, let's do this together. You're funny. And he's like, I appreciate that, because now being connected to Charlemagne, so many more people know who I am because he's on radio and he has all these fans. Right. So he made my career bigger. But in the beginning, Charlemagne used to tell Andrew, like, you can't say that. You haven't researched it. You can't just jump out the window and just say whatever. Now I can't hear myself.
You can't hear yourself?
No, you turn me all the way down.
Oh, our headphones are switched.
Yeah. Leave my headphones. Leave my shit alone.
I thought I checked them, but
it's fine.
not.
But so yeah, in the beginning, Andrew, he used to say wild things, and Charlemagne used to always go back and forth with him and had conversations like, "You can't just say anything. Like you are gonna mess up yourself to where people are not gonna want you in certain rooms because you just jump out the window." He's like, "You know how they do? What's his name? Alex, conspiracy theory man,
Jones.
Alex Jones." You see how they do him? They be deleting whole podcasts that he be on. They always like, you do a podcast with Alex Jones, he get crazy, and then next thing you know, they like, we got to take that off the platform. The whole podcast will come down.
Whole thing gotta go.
Yeah, so that's what he was telling him in the beginning. Like, you have to, yeah, it's the freedom of speech, but there's consequences that come with freedom of speech.
Right.
And it is what it is. And so he's gotten better over time. Giannis Papas was still new at it, and yeah, maybe him and Chris DiStefano Chris DiStefano was bigger than him. It's so rude.
Right, but it's true.
Yeah, it is true.
So no more Giannis Papas at the top of the episode. Okay,
Cancel. He's
a
loser.
Oh, he's a loser. Okay. Noted. So funny. Until next week.
So I guess we should talk about the story that everyone's talking about right now.
What are they talking about?
Obviously Will Smith slapping Chris Rock at the Oscars.
What happened?
Will Smith slapped the shit out of Chris Rock at the Oscars.
And Chris Rock said, Will Smith just slapped the shit out of me.
It's like, and then everybody keeps saying, you guys are acting like Will is the victim here. Like, why is no one checking on Chris? He's almost 60, and he just slapped the shit out of him. Like, why is no one checking to see how Chris is doing? And then Lunel talks about it. She's another comedian, and she's like, I don't know. She don't know what to say, but she's like, wasn't
I don't think
staged.
anybody wants to speak for the man. In fact,
because he's not saying anything.
Well, he just did a show in Boston a couple nights ago.
Yeah.
It was his first.
I heard his tour got crazy. Like, all his tickets sold out right after that happened.
Of course. And he basically said, I don't. He's like, I got a whole show I gotta write right now. He's like, I got a whole show planned out. I'm not gonna talk about the Will Smith stuff. Maybe later, once I figure out how to make it. He said it's gonna be serious and it's gonna be funny, but right now I don't really have anything to say about it. That's it.
What are you gonna say?
It's like, well, I mean, like,
you can't fight him back now, because then you're gonna be the one who looks bad if you fight him back. But Will Smith is tired of Chris Rock and everybody else, and it didn't matter if it was Chris Rock or anybody at that point. I
think it matters.
Yeah,
I don't think he would have done that to certain other people.
Certain people, yeah. Right. But Chris Rock do be going in on people. He do be having too many damn jokes. It's like, you gotta chill.
Right. So he just walked up there.
I mean, other people said bad things too. Regina Hall and everybody said bad things before Chris Rock did.
Sure.
But Chris Rock is a man. And also the whole thing that happened last year. They're protesting the Oscars. They asked Chris to join, protest with us. Don't host the Oscars in 2016. And then
last year, 2016.
No, I'm sorry. I'm saying last year. The last time he hosted.
Right.
And that was a conversation that was had behind the scenes. It wasn't for the public. It was them calling him saying, "Hey, we're boycotting Jada called his people, like, we're boycotting the Oscars. Is Chris gonna get on board? He shouldn't do the show because we're boycotting." And so he does the show, and he's like, what did he say? He said something about her telling me not to do the Oscars is the same thing as me trying to get into Rihanna's panties. You wasn't invited, or something like that, he said. So he talk about her anyway. So yeah, he got to stop messing with them. At this point, like, Will Smith is bigger than you, and he probably would win in a fight anyway if he was on the street. So you probably.
But that doesn't matter. There's the thing is, because words said, you shouldn't hit somebody because they said something.
But we live in America, Kirk. So? People slap people all the time.
Yeah, but that's ridiculous. When it comes down to it, it's a bunch of millionaires celebrating their $1 million paychecks. And they did superb work. They're the best in their industry for that year. And then one millionaire decided to slap another millionaire, and then all the other millionaires watched. Like, it's ridiculous, and then all the people that aren't millionaires get to talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, can you see what those millionaires did?
Yeah. I met somebody, worked with him. I can't remember where I worked with him at. It might have been a restaurant in Detroit. Somebody who actually worked in the kitchen at one of the Oscar celebrations. And they talk about the food and how, like, you're not allowed to talk to any of the celebrities, and like you can't do none of that, and like how strict they are with like the back of the house people, like don't speak to nobody, because sometimes cooks will fan out over celebrities. I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
And it's like, you being weird right now. Like I would never do. Well, I did fan out a little bit when Chris Angel came in. I ain't
That's the
gonna lie.
worst person to fan out.
Well, I like Chris Angel.
So, I was listening to the Different Beast podcast with our buddy Rob Ortega.
Your buddy.
Our buddy.
Okay, Robert.
Our friend.
Yeah.
And they were talking about their first album. He and his wife do a show a week, typically, and they have this book, and they talk about questions, in the book. And one of the questions was, what was the first album you got? And I was listening to it today, and I was like, my first album was Big Willie Style that I got. And I was like, wow, that's, I went to the Naval Exchange, and they had it. It was like, what was it, 96? Whenever it was getting big?
Yeah, well, how much was it? It was 73 cents to get a bottle.
Huh?
It was super cheap, probably, to buy that.
It was probably
$3
like
or
$7.
Yeah.
I don't know how much CDs were back then, but the Monday, because we didn't watch the Oscars, Carmen. I
Right.
don't even know if we can or could.
We could have. I can watch anything.
Well, live,
Yeah.
okay, and
It was-
we
it
didn't
was
find
some-
out about it until the next day,
Mm-hmm.
and I woke up and I was like,
What
I
is
just
going
wanna,
on?
I just want to burn my Big Willie Style CD. Not
Oh
like
my
make a new
God.
one. Like, I just want to set it on fire. I want to cancel Will Smith. We got to cancel all the Smiths, Carmen.
Because he slapped somebody.
Cancel all the Smiths.
And now
all the
now
whole
you know
family.
they're about to go on Red Table Talk and make even more money off this
Cancel
whole thing.
all the Smiths.
Yeah.
And then, so
You can't cancel them though. They contributed too much already.
And then Jada puts on her Instagram, she said, after Will apologized, and this was before he resigned from the Academy, but he apologized.
Yeah.
Then she said, this is a season of healing and I'm here for it. Like, she's like, my man is like crazy, but we gonna fix him. Like,
Yeah.
but I feel like
They were saying he probably did that so he could keep his Oscar.
Mhm.
Because it's rules and bylaws. You can't slap people, like physically assault people.
I don't know if they're gonna take. Apparently next month, it doesn't matter anyway.
It's Will Smith.
If they take it away from him or not, like that whole, they're not.
He earned it.
Well, it's not that he earned it, but he tarnished it.
Yeah. Anyway.
Whenever somebody wins an Oscar, the next 20 years of their movies, they say Oscar winner, blah blah blah. And then when they do it for Will Smith, it's just gonna go into that image of Chris Rock getting slapped.
And then
so they
he-
can't.
and then he
they're
sat
not
down
gonna
and
be
screamed.
able to mention that he won an Oscar ever.
Without Chris Rock coming up.
Right? No, ever. There in no marketing you'll see Oscar winner Will Smith, because it's got everybody's got a bad taste about it.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, Will Smith is so much bigger than an Oscar anyways. I'm surprised he haven't won one yet. That's crazy. There's a lot of people that haven't. But yeah, it's a bad look for him. And he on stage crying, and it's like, you need therapy, dude. Like, you need somebody to sit down and talk with you. And like, he just wrote his book, and his book is crazy. He talk about all throughout his book how he always felt like he was bullied and never stood up for the people around him and himself. He pretty much was a weak man, and
Right.
everybody like pushed him around and told him what to do, and he just went with it. And he never he talks about his mom and dad fighting and listening to his mom get beat up and just like not doing nothing and not knowing what to do. And like, so maybe he's sick of it. He's sick of everybody talking shit about him.
Right.
And it was the last time. And then on top of that, you call his wife bald head on the Oscar stage? You might have to get a slap. But it's like, once he's walking up to the stage, you have to do something. Like, at that point, that's a long walk to figure out you about to, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. It was right there. His front row.
it's still long enough steps to where like you are walking up there. It's not like he ran, and so you at that point you got to do something.
Right.
And then he just slapped him, and then he go sit down and scream at him too.
Yeah.
That was even worse than a slap. That was more cringy than an actual slap.
You think so? Him yelling?
Yeah. Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
He's like, Chris Rock is like, okay.
He's like, I'm going to.
He's like,
I was like,
"I'm going
of
to."
course you are. You just got slapped in the mouth on stage. And then they're talking about like, oh well, he was presenting for Questlove at the time, so you overshadowed that overshadowed Questlove's moment. And Questlove was like, I didn't know the slap happened. I was in the back meditating. It's like, okay, dude. Like, take the pick out your hair. Like, whatever, Questlove.
Right.
You're in the back meditating while people get slapped on stage. He was just back there praying for that Oscar.
Right.
So that's interesting. He's like, it didn't tarnish my Oscar. My Oscar is still an Oscar. But it kind of messed up everybody. Like, oh, did you win that year when Will Smith smacked Chris Rock? It kind of overshadowed the whole thing. It kind of messed up everybody's night.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wanda Sykes said.
Oh, she too much.
She said that she saw Chris Rock at an after party, and he came up to her and he was like, because he's, had the privilege of hosting the Oscars before, and he's like, everybody's gonna be talking about this, and this is the Oscars, but you hosted and you guys did a great job, and I wish that you guys are gonna get credit, but they're gonna basically forget about you because
they're not gonna know anyways because they were doing all the behind the scenes work, so they wasn't. It wasn't
still hosting,
right? But I'm saying they were doing all the legwork behind the scenes, like the whole team. She was part of it, but like you ain't up for no Oscar, girl. Don't nobody even know.
No, but they're hosting, Carmen.
I know. Nobody even know you was there, Wanda.
Okay.
Ain't nobody thinking about Wanda Sykes, but she's she part of Chris Rock crew. Like, you know how all comedians, they all got these little cliques that they part of? And so Chris Rock and then, like, Wanda Sykes and whoever else is part of Chris Rock's clique. And she's like, I felt sick to my stomach. I'm like, girl, go sit down somewhere.
That's what everybody's, most people said, except for, like, Tiffany Haddish is, like, the only person that's, like, it just shows that men love their women. Like, I thought it was, she said, I know people don't like the way that it went down, but it just shows me that some men still love their women and are willing to defend them.
She's part of Kevin Hart's crew. Like, she's part of that whole crew. I think the only person who ain't got a crew right now is Monique. She ain't part of nobody's crew. But she's part of Kevin Hart's crew. Wanda Sykes is part of Chris Rock's crew, and then Lunell's part of Cat Williams' crew. And then Joe Rogan has his whole crew. Like, everybody is, like, clicked up in different little groups. And then you have a couple of comedians just kind of rogue. And then Monique is, I guess she part of 50 Cent's crew now because he said he gonna give her a job.
Oh, great. Power 15.
Yeah, he's like, I got to get Monique back working again. But his shows do be really good, though. You just don't, it's not the best acting, but
his shows are horrible.
But the storyline is good, though.
Every single one of them are bad.
No, they're not.
Power.
Kirk, you can't sit here and deliver that.
Power, Ghost,
that stuff. Like
Power Book 2, Ghost, which Ghost is the main character of the first one. Why is it even called that when the guy's dead?
To keep the viewers to keep watching.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, like people know Ghost with power, so they keep the name so you keep watching. And then now it's Ghost Power Book 4 or something like that. Yeah, it is a good show, though. You can't come on here and say that
trash.
Power is not a good show.
It's all bad.
Yeah, 50 Cent, he gonna get Monique a job.
Good for him.
Yeah, who is it? Mary, I don't know why I'm forgetting her name.
J. Blige?
Yeah, Mary J. Blige. She got a job.
Yeah.
She do a good job. She's good at it, though.
Yeah, but she's actually, like, in, like, other things, too.
Right.
She doesn't need
a job.
50 Cent to give her a job.
No, she's put out an album and she's going on tour right now. So it's probably
she was in the Umbrella Academy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably more of an inconvenience for her doing that show because of how her time and everything works. But Monique, she need a job.
Yeah.
So, and then everybody always talk about Monique calling her husband daddy. She'd be like, "Hold on, daddy." It's like, that is so weird to me. What do you think about that?
I don't know.
Isn't that weird? It's like weird submissive shit. Like, hey, daddy, hold on. Like, she said a lot. I'm like, ew, girl, stop doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be called daddy. But you can call me Poppy.
No, I don't
That's
like
okay.
that.
No, you don't. The Poppy's not okay?
Mm-hmm.
Poppy.
So tell the story you were talking about talking to your friend Jose and me being asleep on the couch. I don't know why, but that story makes me laugh.
You have a tendency to fall asleep on the couch.
Yeah.
Basically nightly.
That's because of TV, Kurt.
I tell you to go to bed, and then you're like, no, I'm just hanging out, and then you fall asleep. And I was chatting with my friend Jose, and it was a video call, and I put the phone over. He was like, "How's Miss Church doing?" He said he calls you Miss Church.
Why?
Because translated, you gotta so in like Scottish language, a kirk is a church, right? And then in Spanish, church is like the last name church is Iglesias. So basically, like your Miss Iglesias, Miss Kirk, Miss Church. So he calls you Miss Church, right? And he's like, "How's Miss Church doing?" And then I take the phone and I put it on you, and you got when you sleep, like only one of your teeth show. Like just the way your mouth is like positioned. It's like you got one tooth showing. And don't get self-conscious now.
It's because of the way I'm laying on the couch, obviously.
And your mouth is open. I was like, "Oh, she's okay." And then he's like, "She doesn't look okay." It's like, I'm not gonna be your alibi because she's not moving. You gotta make her move or something, because I don't know what I'm looking at right now. But if the cops ask, like, "Hey, Kirk says that, he made a video," I'm not answering that call. As if it was like my plot to.
Yeah, your alibi. You just taking videos. I mean, people have done stuff like that on the internet a bunch. But no, I was just knocked out. But Jose's funny. He's a funny guy.
Yeah, he's one of the funniest.
So I talk about stuff like this all the time because obviously I work in the industry, hospitality industry. And again, the customers, the rude level has not gone down here. People are still very mean, and I don't understand it. And I think this is my whole thing. I think Maine is a state, or I know about Portland because we live in Portland, so I'll keep it to Portland. But Maine is a place where Portland is a place. But I mean, Upper Maine is probably the same way, like from what people say. But this is a place where you have a lot of people walking around that ain't never been slapped in the mouth before. And so people walk around with these attitudes, and it's because you never got punched in the mouth or slapped in the face before. Like, you would probably change the way you talk to people if you knew that could happen. Well, I think people here, like, they live their life with, like, none of that. They don't understand that. So people do certain things here, which, I don't know, it's just so weird to me, especially from where I come from. Because if, back in the day, if me and Latrice always wanted to fight. I never wanted to fight because after you fight, if you win, every time you see that girl, you gotta fight. It ain't like you just win the fight and then it's over with. Like, oh yeah, I beat her ass, that's it. No. After you win the fight, you go home, and every single time you walking through the neighborhood or at school or anything and you see that girl, it's on again. Y'all about to be fighting again, and nobody wants to keep fighting the same person. Like, she gotta fight you until she feel like she's the victor, and that is just too much for me. Latrice, she didn't care. She loved that shit, but that's the conclusion that I've come to, that people here have not ever dealt with things like that. So they feel entitled, or they feel like they can just do and say whatever they want. I don't know. Did that make sense a little bit?
Sure. I think that people are adults, Carmen. Like, people don't fight once you reach a certain age.
I know, but it's still like when we first moved here, we see a lady, we at the grocery store, and the the lady was
The lady
walking
smacked the car.
and she's hitting the car.
Right.
In Detroit, that doesn't happen
Uh-huh.
because you would be scared to do that
Mm-hmm.
because you don't know what that person in that car is going to do.
Right.
That's what I mean. Here, people don't think that anything can happen to them because
Right.
there's no crime or no nothing. So they behave in a way as if nothing can ever happen. It's almost like a weird way of living. Because if you go somewhere else and you,
Normal?
yeah,
It's pretty normal, I would say.
I don't think it's, well, maybe the way I grew up is not normal. I agree with that, but getting slapped a couple times build a little bit of character, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. The kid I work with, he told me, because he's from Maine, and he said that he moved to New Orleans, and he was whatever the main street is. What is it, Bourbon Street or something like that, where the parades and everything happen.
Mm-hmm.
He said he was like down there just playing music for money on the streets, blah blah. And he was like, I just left Maine. He's like, I thought I was hot shit, and I'm walking around, and I yelled at this guy over some cigarettes or something. I asked him for a cigarette, and I yelled at him, and just whatever, being an asshole. He was like, the guy said, what? He turned around and then socked me in the face. And then he was like, I was so drunk that I fell down and I couldn't even like cover my face with my hands. And he just like punched me in the face like 30 times. He was like, he broke my nose. And he was like, and I thought I was the biggest thing ever until that happened. And I was like, I never got my ass whipped before. It was like, it was devastating. But then at that moment, he realized that you can't just mouth off and say whatever you want to, because you're
Right.
gonna come across that person that does that.
Mm-hmm.
So I just thought that was an interesting story.
Yeah.
No, you don't think so?
No.
You think it's normal just to behave the way people do here?
I think that's, I don't know. No. Yes. I don't really care.
Yeah. Well, I'm in the industry, so I deal with it directly like every single day.
Mhm.
Like even today, I was telling you, a lady comes in, she orders a chicken sandwich. Her friend orders a corned beef hash, and it comes to the table, and she's like, this is the most disgusting thing ever. I'll take a hash, actually. I don't want this, and I'm not paying for it.
Mhm.
Like, how you gonna go somewhere and do that?
I don't know. I think if you, at a sit-down restaurant, there's a thing where,
You would never do that, though.
no, I wouldn't. I subscribe to the belief that, man, I ordered wrong.
Yeah,
know?
it's you take accountability for your own action.
Right. Like, man, I shouldn't have ordered that.
Right.
I should have ordered that. But some people, they're like, well, you're a person that's like, well, you paid for it, you should get what you want, right?
Yeah.
And if it's not right, but if you look at the product and it's not what you thought it was going to be, it's okay to order something else, right?
Not really.
You don't think so?
I think that in a lot of places they make you pay for it at a regular restaurant. You can't just go into a place and start ordering shit off the menu and being like, I don't like
Take
this,
this back,
bring this,
take
take.
that back.
You can't do that.
Yeah, I
You got to pay for that. You already touched it, all that. Yes, you have to pay for that. It's just the hotel being connected. It's that additional, like they're super hospitable because of the hotel.
Right.
But if you're in a regular restaurant, like, no, that's not how things work. You can't just do that. Like, people have these little tricks and stuff, like ordering steaks a weird way and then being like, this is not what I ordered, so they can get it for free.
Right.
Like, customers have all these weird way of doing things.
I
Little
want it well
schemers.
done with, some pink in the middle.
Yeah,
Can I get it charred, but, pink?
yeah. Then it's like an impossible request.
Right.
And then if you don't do it, they say, this is not what I wanted. And then they get a free steak.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't think they do that at our steakhouse Timber here.
Mm-hmm.
They struggling like everybody else. Like, you got to pay for that steak. I'm sorry. We'll make you another one, but you're gonna pay. You're gonna pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I want to go back to that place actually.
I tried to take you there the other day.
Yeah, but it's super expensive.
Well, we went to the High Roller,
Yeah, super expensive too.
so we could have went to Timber, and
No, Timber's way more expensive than High Roller.
no.
You don't think so?
No. All in all, we paid $120 for a meal.
Yeah.
Probably Timber probably would have been pretty similar to that.
Well, you did get that $40 burger.
Yeah, it was a $40 burger.
Yeah.
It's it was called the Buffalo Surfer. So High Roller is a restaurant here. They do like innovative lobster dishes.
Yeah, like lobster rolls, lobster
rolls.
tacos.
They got these special sauces. Well, this lobster sandwich I had was a burger with like blue cheese dressing, and then fried lobster with
Fried buffalo lobster, right?
buffalo sauce on it, and it was good. It was great.
Yeah.
Was it?
Kirk, you eat it so fast. I'm like, damn, enjoy that $40 burger.
Well, it had so much sauce on it because it had the buffalo sauce. It had the what was the other one? The blue cheese
Yeah.
dressing. The burger was, it's a burger, so it's kind of greasy.
Mm-hmm.
The lobster was fried, so it's kind of you gotta get it in there before that bun fall apart. Gotta get it. But
That's perfect for you. You like all the sauce.
yeah,
It's like, man, I was looking through our Taco Bell sauce bag, and I was like, I don't got no more mild sauce in there. I only got a couple. It's like, man, we got to go to Taco Bell just so we can stock back up on
just get some
sauces.
stock on the sauce.
Yeah, we went to Popeyes recently. I'm like, I need honey, so I get a bunch of honeys too. So now I'm stocked up on the honey.
Right.
Got to restock up on the Taco Bell sauces.
The last time we went to Popeyes, luckily, we were inside. We went inside to order. They hadn't let the dining room be open before, and you ask for the honey. Even though we have honey here, I don't know why you want
At the time,
Popeyes honey.
At the time, I didn't have
We
any.
still had the hot honey though.
But it's hot.
What's wrong with that?
Hot honey ain't.
All right. So we asked for the honey, and the man, he give us honey, and he's like, it's kind of sticky.
It's like
he
this.
handed it to me, and everything was covered in honey. It was like 20 packets that were all stuck together.
Yeah. It's
he's
like,
like-
how do you consciously give somebody
It's like,
this?
here you go, dude. And I was like, thanks. And then I give it to you. We're 3 people stuck in this honey. It was an amazing experience. I loved it.
Yeah. It's like, can you guys fix that? Like, why are you giving that out? Get the honey. Obviously, a honey pack busted in there or something. It's all stuck together. But you know what? It was better than no honey. So I was okay with that.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so gross. I hate, playing in the woods. You get sap on your hands, and you
Yeah.
get sticky
Oh,
hands.
so gross. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. I wish we had a Church's here. Have you ever been to Church's Chicken?
Yeah. In Nashville,
I
there's
love Church's.
a Church's and a White Castle combined.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
So you enjoyed Church's?
Sure.
Oh my God, they got the fried okra. I love fried okra. They don't have it anywhere here. I don't think so.
You could probably get it at Hot Supper.
Yeah, probably, but it ain't gonna be that Church's fried okra.
No, it's probably better.
Maybe, or you could probably get it at it's something on the bayou. It's like a is it a Creole kitchen or something like that? They do like gumbos and like all type of stuff like that. They
Never
probably
heard of
got fried okra. It's in the area where I get my hair done, but we got to try that one day.
Okay.
It's supposed to be like really good stuff. Everybody say.
Yeah.
So I had this. Speaking about that, I was talking to my auntie on the phone because my mom's like, your auntie made beef gumbo for your uncle's birthday. I'm like, beef gumbo? Who makes beef? And she was like, yeah, it's the gumbo, but it's just beef. I use beef instead. I'm like, where would you ever find beef gumbo ever? So then she starts Googling it. She's like, yeah, there is a beef gumbo. I'm like, all right, auntie, I'm just saying, that's not normal. And she's like, yes, it is. It's just a weird thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, good old Nita.
It was great.
It probably was good.
Yeah.
So, we're good?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for watching another episode of the Sweet Gravy Podcast. If you have any questions or suggestions, please go to sweetgravypod@gmail.com. You can also check us out on YouTube and every other streaming platform.
Awesome. Thank you. Bye-bye.